Hello, Attorney Lee Marvin here explaining a little bit more about the U visa process. The U visa is available to people living in the United States that either is an immigrant or a non-immigrant that has been victimized by somebody in the United States, and that victimization created a certain type of harm, whether it's physical, mental, or some sort of legal harm that you suffered as a result of that criminal, that person that victimized you, okay? Is if you suffered a certain type of crime, and if you were useful, helpful in law enforcement's ability to try to catch or prosecute that person, the wrongdoer, then you can be eligible for the U visa. The U visa gives protected status to you while you're in the United States. It gives you a work permit now, which is a recent occurrence, and it is a path to a green card and eventually citizenship. So U visas take forever, takes years, sometimes 5 years to get it. So when I say that you have access to a work permit, unlike what you had before, what I mean is you can get it quicker than you were able to get it before. In the past, U visa recipients or applicants could not work until they actually got an approved U visa, which took 5 years or more. So as of last year, they changed that a little bit and now allow people what's called a bona fide determination. If the government thinks that you have a bona fide or a genuine request for a U visa, they will go ahead and give you that work permit. So it's a little confusing because sometimes you have to wait for them to give it to you, and other times you can actually apply for it preemptively. So we usually apply for it preemptively so that our clients can get it sooner and not have to wait for the bureaucracy to actually issue the work authorization. So like I said, the U visas do take a very long time. So what is a part of the U visa filing? Okay, so the application is the I-918. That's the main application for the U visa. There's a couple supplemental applications that go with that. Supplement A, which is for family members, for them to be able to benefit from the U visa process, whether they were victimized or they're just your derivative or your family member. They can qualify for a U visa, for a work permit, and eventually for a green card as well. Supplement B is basically proof that you've gone through the law enforcement part of it. You basically get certified by law enforcement to say that you definitely suffered this crime, that they verify that you were a victim, and that you actually tried to help them in righting this wrong, okay? In some cases, that means that you participated or you answered questions from the police during their investigation, or it means that you were a part of the case in chief or the actual prosecution of the perpetrator in court. So you dealt with the prosecutor, you talked to the judge, you actually went there to court and you were a witness against the person who attacked you or victimized you. So those are the broad strokes about the U visa and how you can apply for it and what you get from it. So again, there's additional information that you need to include in your petition. Your identity is always important. Whether you have legal status in the United States or not is not really that important, but a genuine accounting of who you are is important. So what do I mean? Passport, okay? If you have a passport, if you enter the United States with a visa, if you have a government identification, whether it's a United States government or whether it's a government from where you are from, you need that. You need to prove who you are without a doubt, because again, you're claiming a specific benefit that identifies you as a victim. So if that information proving who you are, not your legal status, but who you are, if that doesn't conform or comport with the information that law enforcement is providing, then you're not going to get a U visa. So basically, are you telling the truth? Did you really get victimized? And is your name listed in the police report or in the court records? And does that match with who you say you are through your documentation from your home country? Okay. So the evidence of the physical or mental abuse, highly important. Okay. Because again, if you can't prove that you suffered, then you don't get a U visa. So information to show that usually it can be in the form of medical records. So if you were attacked, beaten, or you name it, if you went to the hospital, you're going to get records that show that you suffered the thing that you claim that you suffered. So medical records are highly important. Mental health. So lots of people who, for example, I have clients that were victims of drive-by shootings at their house. They weren't harmed by it physically, but man, it messed them up in their head. And they're scared, they're petrified to be in their house, to go to sleep. So they actually had therapy for that. And they had a mental status evaluation to show that they are suffering an acute mental impingement, and that this harm was the direct result of this attack on them. So again, medical records, therapy records, or even a mental status examination can be used to prove that you are somebody who has suffered from someone else. So victimized by someone else, okay? So that's physical or mental abuse has to be proven, okay? You also have to include a description of what happened, okay? It's not enough that it's in a police report. Immigration wants, in your words, what happened. I mean, it can be as elaborate or as simple as your attorney or you think it should be, but you need to be very clear in explaining what happened and how you believe you suffered from it and why you need the U visa protection because of this attack, okay? Very important. Other things that can be included in your filing are photographs. I had a client that was attacked, physically assaulted, and they were beaten, and their face was bruised, their arms were bruised. We included photographs of that to show the abuse, okay? Sometimes you don't have medical records. You may have a police report, but that's it. So in your statement, you can actually explain what happened, but if you have witnesses, your witnesses can write statements called affidavits explaining what they witnessed of the attack, okay? We've had to do that many times. So, for example, client was on the job and someone came, some ex-employee came and beat them up on the job, okay? Or beat on them. It wasn't a whole lot of medical. Actually, they decided not to go to the hospital because, again, they're worried about their legal status, so they didn't even go to the hospital. But luckily, there were witnesses. We had witness statements, affidavits, supporting their claim that they were attacked at work. The employer did it. There was a police report, so we had a number of different documents that was able to corroborate and prove what happened. So police reports, key. Medical records, key. Personal statements, key. These affidavits, very, very instrumental in being able to prove the allegations against the person who attacked you. And that's, again, in addition to any court records that may or may not exist. You have all these different things that you have options to use in your U visa filing, okay? Sometimes you need to include waivers, okay? There's the I-112 is a type of waiver, waiver of your fees that you have to pay for this process, and the I-192 is actually the waiver of inadmissibility. So if you entered without status or you had any other issues that make you ineligible for this sort of process, you might have to file a waiver to eliminate those problems so that you can move forward with the U visa, okay? Very important. Some of these different things come at different points in the process. So strategy is highly important too. You need to talk to your attorney, and you need to do things in the right order and include the right information to make your case as solid as possible. The last thing you want is for immigration to doubt you or to question anything about your case. Because they question it, they deny it. So you want to do a very thorough job and include good information, not just anything you can find, but good information that supports your claim that you were attacked and that you are eligible for the U visa protection. Again, it's a hugely powerful process that changes people's lives, okay? There's more information about derivative or family members that may not apply to a lot of people, but U visa status can benefit family members who aren't even in the United States. So the victim gets U visa, applies for the U visa status, gets approved. After that, they can then add family members who are not even in the United States to the U visa. They can get a U visa status for people living overseas. Those people, family members, can enter the United States with a U visa approval and then live in the United States for the period of time, which is 3 years, to be able to apply for their green card. So a lot of different parts to the U visa, but it's such a versatile and such a highly important process for people that don't necessarily have any other process they can apply for, like a green card through a family member. So the U visa is huge for people. Again, it's a difficult process. Talk to an attorney. You're not doing this one yourself either. Call us. We do a lot of these. I'd be happy to help you win this case and to get protected and to get you the ability to work, to be able to get a driver's license, and to be able to stay in the United States and eventually get your green card and U.S. citizenship. So give us a call, subscribe to us, visit our website so you can reach out to us for questions, and so you can, consult with me, and we can tell you the best way of moving forward so you can get your status and you live in the United States for the rest of your life, if you do it the right way, with legal status and eventually with citizenship. Give us a call. I'd love to help you out.